John Sterling will no longer be the play-by-play announcer for the New York Yankees due to health concerns. He will immediately step down. Brig, you heard his last radio call,
Yeah,
right?
I did, and I didn't know it was going to be his last radio call.
Yeah.
And I found out later. I was like, wait a minute, because I turned it off and then I walked away, went about the rest of my day.
Mm.
Then I stumbled back into it and realized, oh wow, what a moment. It's amazing how life does that.
Uh-huh.
The significance of things sneaks up on you and you don't realize it until it's too late most of the time.
That's like, did you see a couple years ago there was something going around on Instagram or whatever? It's like one of those memes that said, at one point it was the last time you and your friends went and played outside together, but nobody knew it.
Yeah.
It's kind of that. It was kind of like that, It's like you're
Yeah.
listening to John Sterling for the last time and nobody knew. Nobody had a clue.
Yeah, it's intense, and it's sad, but the guy, he's 85 and he's only been broadcasting for 64 years. You know what I
Only.
mean? Yeah, so it's the end of an era. It's maybe even in the end of an epoch, I guess. This is much more than an era. It's a huge deal. He's been cutting his workload down for the last couple of years anyway. He doesn't travel as much. I think he still goes to Boston when they go to Boston, and Toronto. I think he'll go up to Toronto and things like that. But
Mostly just doing home games.
He mostly doing home games. He was quoted, though. He said in the presser, he says, "I'm a very blessed human being. I have been able to do what I wanted, broadcasting for 64 years. As a little boy growing up in New York as a Yankees fan, and then I was able to broadcast the Yankees for 36 years. It's all to my benefit, and I leave very, very happy. I look forward to seeing everyone again on Saturday, when he will be returning to the Bronx, and they will be honoring him.
That's cool.
For all his time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So all in all, he called 5,420 Yankee games since 1989, 211 in the postseason. His final home run call was a Giancarlo Stanton grand salami with his long, drawn-out Italian call that.
And he sang the show tune and everything.
He sang it?
Yeah, he did.
Was it a walk-off?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I'd have to go back, but I don't think it was.
Okay, but it was his final home run call. So do they know who's going to be replacing him yet? Is Susan Waldman just going to step in with guests, or how's that going to work?
So she's been doing color for him, obviously, the whole time. But when he's not there, they have a replacement guy. I don't know who his name is. I know that they've had a couple of voices. So that's the thing with radio. You're like, who is that, right?
Right.
You catch the very beginning of the broadcast where they introduce themselves. You don't know. So I've heard a couple of different voices over the last little while. I know the guy who does their Spanish broadcast is amazing. Like,
most of them are.
Amazing. And he'll come in and do some every once in a while when John can't. Last season in particular. So I don't know who they're going to get. They've got a different guy that I heard in one of their last road trips that was very good as well. So
yeah,
I'm sure it'll be great whoever they pull.
The bench is deep.
I think it's kind of what it seems like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So they'll probably, I bet what they'll do is they'll platoon the position for the rest of the season. Then they'll hire somebody full time after that.
I think you're right.
Is probably what it sounds like they'll do. So
yeah,
and I think they've probably been prepping for this as well, as far as that goes.
Oh yeah, they've been auditioning.
The fact that he hasn't been, the fact that he hasn't been traveling. So
yeah,
well, good for him. He was. This is the thing. Like, you didn't have to be a Yankees fan to appreciate John Sterling.
No,
it was just like Vince Scully. If you were a baseball fan, you'd like to listen to Vince Scully, John Sterling, and why can't I think of the other guy? He's doing Giants games. He did Sunday Night Baseball. John Miller.
Yeah.
And John Miller. You could appreciate John Miller too, just as a baseball fan.
For sure.
So. And I mean, Boog Shaw, like, there's a long list of baseball guys
there are
you can appreciate just as a baseball fan, but he was definitely up there as one of the top couple. So
yeah, I agree. Well, it's hard to put your own spin on something as straightforward as calling a play-by-play, right? And
something that's been around for as long as it has.
Exactly.
Play-by-play.
Exactly. And so for somebody to really be like identifiable and even become quintessential with a brand and with a team, that's a significant accomplishment in any profession. So I prefer radio broadcasts most of the time
Yeah.
to television, and so this is going to affect me dramatically.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
prefer the call on radio over TV typically
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. It
So what day was his last game? Was it
was
Sunday?
today.
Oh, Monday? Today?
Yeah, it was today.
Oh, okay.
The game ended, and then he said, "Okay, I'm done," and everyone was like, "What?"
Wait, what? Hello?
Yeah.
Would have been good to know, buddy.
Yeah. It
Huh.
was. I hope he's okay. I don't know what the imminent health concerns are, but that's what they're
Well, I
saying.
mean,
And
he's 85. It's like what we've been my grandma passed away a couple weeks ago. That's why I was gone, right?
yeah,
It's like everybody's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Hey, she was 96." So,
right.
you know.
And pretty happy about it.
And yeah, she was ready
A little
at
bit ready.
96.
Yeah.
So, and I think that he's probably gotten to the point where he's like, I did what I wanted to do for a very long time.
Mhm.
Love to have him come like stick around, like I say, stick around and make his appearances. But I think he's reached his point where he's happy.
They're gonna retire his initials or something, like, that's coming, and,
Yeah,
it's the
absolutely.
right answer, and I'll let you know.